Yeah, well, I think Chris Wallace, who did a great job, Fox News has just done a great job with all these debates compared to the other networks.
Yeah, they've been actually pretty solid throughout the election.
They've done a great job of holding the candidates' feet to the fire and, actually fact-checking them on their numbers. So Wallace completely destroyed Donald Trump's math. He pointed out that Trump's plan to abolish the Environmental Protection Agency and the Department of Education, which, yes, Donald Trump wants to get rid of the U.S. Department of Education, would still leave the deficit at over $500 billion. And then Trump went on this whole thing how we're going to save money because we're going to better negotiate Medicare drug costs. He's such a great negotiator. He said we're going to save $300 billion. And Chris Wallace just mentioned that, Medicare only spends $78 billion a year on drug costs. It might be a little hard to reach that sum. Megyn Kelly hit him on the flip-flops, on the Trump University lawsuits. And by all measures, Trump really looked terrible coming out of the debate. But, Eric, is any of this going to affect any of his support at all?
Here's the thing. I mean, what hasn't he said already this election? And the things he has said have never affected him. So, I mean, he always comes out with these crazy statements. He shrugs them off. He'll blame the moderators for being biased. He'll blame the liberal media for attacking, which is weird because it's Fox. But somehow he'll manage
last
to
night
he
offered no objections to the moderators last night. So
no, of course.
He's growing up.
Later, look at the KKK thing. During that comment this week, he went on about how he didn't want to disavow them, and then he blamed the earpiece later. I'm sure he's going to blame something later on. He just wants to see how it's going to settle first. I bet you within a week Americans will forget this debate occurred, because it seems like there's almost a debate every week right now, and so they're losing.
If you think there's a lot of debates right now, so there's a Democratic debate on Sunday. There's a Democratic debate on Wednesday, and then there's a Republican debate on Thursday. So if you think there's a lot of debates now, wait till next week.
Both sides.
Yeah.
No. But
if there was a winner last night, you guys have pointed it out, and it was Fox. In the great collection of who would have believed it a year ago things, we're now sitting there saying that Fox has run the best debates now more than once. Of any of the networks, including the PBS.
They've almost become centrist, which is strange.
Well, they've at least been responsible. They called out candidates on completely ridiculous things, which CNN, for example, clearly didn't do.
We're going to have Josh Patton, the Latest.com senior political analyst, joining us mid-show. Welcome aboard. What was that, Peter?
The idea is that, Fox has emerged as the responsible network of the debates, which all by itself is as amazing as everything else that's going on in this campaign. I just shake my head.
Josh, we were just talking about Fox News moderators holding Trump's feet to the fire yesterday, fact-checking on some of his dubious numbers. Do you think any of that fact-checking will really affect any of his support at all, though? Oh, we can't hear Josh. Josh's microphone is off. Oh, no. It's a disaster.
I think I can answer for all of us here and say, no, it won't. Facts have not troubled the Trump supporters from his very first campaign statements. And there's no reason to believe at this point now that it'll matter to them. His
we
theme
apologize
of
for our $1 million
anger,
production budget.
his themes are fact-free. And he has created this amazing bubble around himself where he can do or say absolutely anything, it doesn't touch him.
Wasn't it PolitiFact that deemed 78% of his statements or something were false, or leaning towards false? There was a note about that
I believe that actually the number was something like they fact-checked 76 statements and 73% were actually false or not completely
That's a substantial amount. And a lot of his bigger statements on big issues tend to really be false and completely Trumpified.
Yeah. Josh, do we have you now?
I hope so. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear Josh.
All right. I'm just going to agree with my colleagues here in that I don't think that it'll affect Trump supporters.
While you were gone, your colleagues said horrifically racist things, so you shouldn't jump.
Oh, well.
It was your earpiece.
Yes. They were talking about groups. I don't know what groups. I have to do research. But that's the thing, is like, it is the most genius move ever in a debate, and I hope that every network starts doing it, because I do think in some cases, though, that moment where Trump was talking about, I believe it was immigration, and then they just, they proved right in front of him that he had lied. And while I don't know if the supporters registered with it, the people who still are undecided, they watched him change his position on the stage, and then an hour after the debate, release a statement reversing it once again. So it may not have affected any of the support he already has, but I don't think it won him any new support. And I think that is a crucial first step in the Republican effort to stop Trump. Because, again, with everyone else being ridiculous, he just keeps gaining momentum because he was ridiculous when he got in. And where do you go from there?